Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if it happens to be your very first time here. My name is Troy, and today I'm going to share with you guys 5 super high quality dividend stocks that I feel you must know about going in the next week. Now, why did I say next week? Well, simply put, that's because every stock I'm going to mention in today's video has an ex-dividend date of this coming week, which means you need to buy these stocks before that date so you guys can get that next dividend payment. I release these videos when I do, which is 8 a.m. Central Standard Time every single Friday, and the reason behind that is it's 30 minutes before the open of the US stock market, and what it does is it allows you time to watch these videos, figure out if any of these stocks might be right for you, and buy them that day so you guys don't miss that ex-dividend date. If that sounds interesting to you, but you guys don't feel like remembering 8 a.m. Central Standard Time every single Friday on Dividend Obsession, subscribe and ring the bell and YouTube will do the reminding for you. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into this week's list with number 5, Flex LNG, stock ticker FLNG. Now today marks the very first time I'm ever talking about this stock right here in the channel, so let's go ahead and dive into the numbers and learn a little bit more about this stock. Flex LNG is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $3 per share per year, and for all my yield lovers, this one has a forward dividend yield of 12.02%. Flex LNG is newly eligible to even be on this list because they've just now been paying and growing their dividend over the last 5 years, but they have a 3-year dividend growth rate, hope everybody's sitting down, of 41.58%. A 5-year dividend growth rate, I hope you really like that seat, of 120.82%, but they do have a payout ratio of 86.5%, so please do your due diligence and look into that number a little bit more before you consider investing into this stock, because that's higher than I like. At the time of recording, Flex LNG was trading 18.11% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of February 20th with a payout date of March 5th. And looking at this chart, over the past 5.65 years, remember, I told you they were newly eligible to be considered on my list because I require at least a 5-year history, but they have a 5.65-year history. That $10,000 investment, while only reinvesting dividends since, would have been grown into $35,724.39, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $12,987.58 in the same time frame. Next up, and coming in at number 4, is Patrick Industries, stock ticker PATK. Just like the last stock, this is also the first time I'm ever bringing this stock to your guys' attention right here on my channel, so let's go ahead and learn a little bit more about this one. Patrick Industries is a quarterly payer in the industrial sector, paying $1.60 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 1.69%. Patrick Industries has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 6 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 24.36%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 55.19%, and a payout ratio that's way more sustainable at 25.55%. Now, at the time of recording, Patrick Industries was trading 4.2% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of February 18th with a payout date of March 3rd. And looking at this chart, this is now back to a 10-year time horizon, which is the standard one I like to use. But Patrick Industries would have turned that $10,000 while only reinvesting your dividends since then over the past 10 years into $76,762.15, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $41,800.03 over the same 10 years. Earning the bronze medal and coming in at number 3 on this week's list is Victory Capital, stock ticker VCTR. Including today's video, this is now the 3rd time I've spoken about this stock right here on the channel, and if you go back to the very first time I spoke about it, which was September 6th of 2024, so not that long ago, VCTR is outperforming the S&P 500 by over 3 times since then, so let's go ahead and look at the numbers that lead to that outperformance. VCTR is a quarterly payer in the financial sector, paying $1.88 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 2.66%. VCTR has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 5 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 43.16%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 73.12%. Where am I finding these stocks? And a payout ratio of 27.78%. Now, at the time of recording, Victory Capital was only trading 3.87% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of February 18th with a payout date of March 10th. And looking at this chart, this one only goes back 7 years. VCTR would have grown that $10,000 while only reinvesting your dividends since then into $69,731.04, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $43,602.98 over the past 7 years. With that being said, we're a little bit over halfway through this week's video, and if you haven't already, please help me out by leaving a like on the video, and if you really want to go the extra mile and help me out the most, use the comment section down below. You guys can let me know what you guys think of the list, if you guys own any of the stocks on the list, or you can just say hi down below. But now let's get to number 2. Earning the silver medal on this week's list, coming in at number 2, is Applied Materials, stock ticker AMAT. Including today's video, this is now the 7th time I've spoken about this stock right here on the channel. And if you go back to the very first time I spoke about this one on August 19th of 2022, Applied Materials is outperforming the S&P 500 pretty decently since then. So let's go ahead and take a peek at the numbers behind this stock. Applied Materials is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $1.60 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.89%. Applied Materials has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 8 years. They have a 3-year dividend growth rate of 17.38%, a 5-year dividend growth rate of 12.87%, and a payout ratio that's super sustainable at 15.54%. Now, at the time of recording, Applied Materials was trading nearly 30% off of their 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of February 20th and a payout date of March 13th. And looking at this chart, again, we're back to 10 years. Applied Materials would have turned that $10,000 investment while only reinvesting your dividends since then into $86,901, which outperforms the S&P 500 by $51,938.88. And the gold medal, the winner of this week's list, and the stock I feel the most strongly that you guys need to consider adding to your portfolio if it's not already there, is Microsoft, stock ticker MSFT. Including today's video, this is now the 3rd time I've spoken about this stock just on this series because I own this in my personal portfolio. And the first time I spoke about it was May 10th of 2024. And believe it or not, Microsoft is not only underperforming the market since then, but it's actually had a negative return since last May. But I don't believe in that 1 second long term, and I want to show you the numbers behind why. Microsoft is a quarterly payer in the technology sector, paying $3.32 per share per year with a forward dividend yield of 0.81%. Microsoft has been paying and growing their dividend over the last 23 years, and I never thought I'd say this, but Microsoft's 3-year dividend growth rate is only 10.23%, and their 5-year dividend growth rate is only 10.26%, but it's sustainable because their payout ratio is only 22.03%. Now, at the time of recording, Microsoft was trading 12.51% off of that 52-week high. They have an ex-dividend date of February 20th with a payout date of March 13th. And looking at this chart over the past 10 years, you can see why I'm not worried about this stock long-term at all. Over the past 10 years, Microsoft would have turned $10,000 while only reinvesting the money they gave you in return into $112,626.72, which outperformed the S&P 500 by $77,664.60. As I said earlier in the video, every single stock you guys saw in today's video is going to have an ex-dividend date between February 17th and February 21st. So if you guys watch this on or after any of those dates, you guys probably already missed the ex-dividend, and all of them are quarterly payers, which means you now need to wait 3 long months before you get paid from any of these companies. And Sweet Brown says, ain't nobody got time for that. With that being said, you definitely already missed the ex-dividend date for every stock I mentioned last week. But if you're in the market for 5 more high-quality dividend stocks and want to check that out, you can do so right here. But until next time, see you.